Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is August 2nd, 2022, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the markets start to retreat. Now, there's no major economic events scheduled for today. So as we look at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, the Australian dollar takes a slide after yesterday's rate decision, bringing along the major pairs together with it. Now, looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ both start to retreat. And looking at commodities, gold unchanged, while oil trading at the bottom of the range at $93 a barrel. Looking at the stocks, Facebook on support, and lastly, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin trickling down. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're going to start out with the EURUSD at a 4-hour chart, and the reason is, if we look at this really carefully, 4 hours chart is really important, and we came close to this 200-day daily resistance-ish level at 10302, and we're right now trading a 10235, about 65 pips lower, and we did get even lower than that. So this is a bit of a resistance-ish area, even though we broke this 10260-ish level, okay, on the downside. Also on the upside, it's still something to consider, okay? So keep this in mind as this is rotating and taking a little bit of a retracement. Really, what's the catalyst here is the Australian dollar. If you look at a daily, when you see how aggressive the sell-off is, about 80 pips just free falling here after this announcement with the rate decision yesterday. So keep this in mind. This could continue bringing and dampening the markets further. Now, looking at the GBP USD followed suit as well, as there's a correctional move against the US dollar. Now, jumping into commodities, gold pretty much unchanged, 1770. Really not much to talk about here, as it's getting to a place of somewhat of a resistance-ish area as we've recovered from our 50% retracement, but not doing much. Now watch this. We're looking at oil now, breaking the 200-day moving average and closing below it. That's a big deal. We tipped below it before, but never closed below. So this may be a catalyst for us selling off and getting back to the 80-ish level. So keep this in mind, keep this on the radar. Now looking at the Dow Jones retracing here after hitting 32,800-ish level, and now we're just trading at 32,600-ish level. This is a possible point of contention. If we look at a weekly chart, that is a possible retracement area for it. Previous support, subsequent resistance, also getting close to that 30-day moving average, but not hooking up closer to it. And that's really something to really look at. Now, looking at the daily, though, we are way below the 200-day moving average, so still some weakness there. Now, looking at the NASDAQ, also retracing here at 12,852 after pushing itself from 11,400-ish level. That's 1,400 points on the upside. So this is a decent move on the upside, but I do expect a little bit of volatility here. Now, looking at the individual stocks, Facebook is really weak. It's on support, okay, for all intents and purposes. It's trading on 155, which is literally supportish area. Then we look at Apple sustaining itself, so it didn't sell off as aggressively, didn't retrace. Microsoft also didn't retrace yesterday, but I do have a hunch that it's going to retrace a little bit, okay, to that 50% level, to 265. In that environment, if there are major stocks that are going to make new lows for the year, I think that'll carry the market lower going into September. So this is something you got to really keep an eye on. Now, looking at Tesla, also retrace itself at the 200-day moving average, which is really an important pivot spot for us to correct ourselves. Lastly, looking at Bitcoin, we're just trickling down here from 23,800. You know, just a very small amount here, as this is making somewhat of a retracement, 1,000-point retracement, but not a big deal considering it's where it's been about 6 months ago to a half a year ago. So keep this in mind, as this is really just been trading sideways and just trickling sideways, even though it's been in a tight range, and even though it's, you know, not trading with tremendous volume, it still has some character. So if you play the levels well and, you know, you short the top of the move, kind of cover at the bottom of the move, and buy at the bottom of the move, you're doing all right. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day.